Good evening and welcome. We appreciate everyone coming out tonight for our 7 o'clock Selectmen's meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to ask Vice Chair Ciccolini to lead.
Sure, Madam Chair. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would first like to welcome my fellow board members. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairman.
Our town manager, Mr. Scott
Mr.
Crabtree.
Manager.
Manager?
Meredith, our clerk.
Hi, Meredith.
Ladies and gentlemen in the audience and those watching at home. I would also like to thank Lieutenant Connors for coming here this evening. Thank you.
Hi, Lieutenant.
The first item on the agenda is invited guests, and we have 2 invited guests this evening. The first is Stephanie Paracchio, and she has done incredible work for our town over the years. Not only has she worked as the clerk for the Board of Appeals, she's worked at the clerk as the Conservation Commission. She's volunteered her time on many different things within town, and she continuously keeps on giving. With that said, Stephanie, would you please come to the podium?
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I am good. I see you're here with your beautiful family.
I know.
I'm sure each one of the select board would like to say a couple of words, and if I could, I'll start with Selectman Riley, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hi, Steph.
Hello, Corinne.
Congratulations on your retirement, all the work you've done for the town. You were on town meeting. You've done more than most would even step up to do. So I miss you on the book club, and
I
hopefully
know.
that will start soon. But I just want to congratulate you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Selectman Riley. Selectman Cogliano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I too would like to thank you for your years of service to the community, and I hope you don't shut the door on ever coming back and helping us out when we're shorthanded. You're a great asset to the town. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Selectman Cogliano. Selectman Michael Sereno.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Stephanie, thank you for all your help with the town. I know you were holding 2 jobs at once, 4 hours a day. That's tough alone. You were always pleasant and helpful to me when I needed something. I want to thank you for that, and I know you're going to be missed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Selectman Vice Chair Ciccolini.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, a lot's already been said, but thank you so much for your dedicated service to the town, both in volunteer and in serving as a clerk on several capacities. You truly did leave some big shoes to fill. I think they're going to realize quickly how involved it is, and you've done an amazing job. You're a huge asset to the town, and we appreciate everything you did, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And little known fact, Stephanie and I used to take dance classes together, so. But we do appreciate everything that you've done for our town, and you continue to do. And we really appreciate you staying on, even though you're retired, and you're helping us out until we do find a replacement. And it will be very difficult. It will never be a complete replacement. So let me read
Thank
the
you.
citation into the record. To all persons whom these present shall come, be it known that on this September 16, 2025, the town of Saugus recognizes Stephanie Paracchio for her 14 years of exceptional service to the town of Saugus as the dedicated clerk to the Conservation Commission and to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and it's signed by all 5 members of the Board of Selectmen. And if it's okay with you, we're going to take a picture. If you'd like some of your family to come up too,
Thank you.
it's up to you.
Thank you all.
No, no, no. Do it for your family. It's good.
Stephanie, before you say. I believe the zoning board of appeals has something for Stephanie. We have another citation to give out this evening. Joan, would you like to come to the podium? Christine, if you'd like to come with her, that's her daughter. We are very fortunate to have Joan Fowler in our community. Just like Stephanie, she continues to go over and above. She's been on the Conservation Commission for the last 22 years, chairman for many of those years, a town meeting member for 10 years, and you could see her at all the different functions. She just goes over and above with everything that she does. And with that said, again, I'm sure that the board members would like to say a few words. And if you do want to say a few words, Joan, just pull down that microphone. I'm going to start with Selectman Riley, if I could, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Joan, I've known you for many, many years, from church and Lady Fidelity and all those things, and the only thing I really remember is during Zoom meetings, and you'd be in them and just knitting away. You'd be watching us on the Zoom meetings and just knitting at wherever you were. And I want to thank you for your service to the town and the community and all that you've done. Thank you, Joan, and congratulations.
Thank you, Selectman Riley. Selectman Cogliano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I, too, would like to thank you on behalf of the town, and we go back to the days of the CB radio. I remember you always on the CB, and just throughout the town, and all your dedication. Certainly appreciate it, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Selectman Cogliano. Selectman Sereno.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Joan, you did a spectacular job on the Conservation Commission. I happen to serve on the board myself, the Conservation Commission. I know how much work it goes into that, site visits you have to do. So I want to thank you very much for dedicating your time to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Selectman Vice Chair Ciccolini.
Did you want to say something? Were you going to say something?
I'm just going to say thank you.
So
Yeah.
safe to say that I've known you my entire life. Grew up, and you were a noon aide back in the day. And as I grew, I watched all the service that you did in our town. Truly amazing. I was lucky enough to have you around in my life, being a close friend of my mom. And you truly do exemplify what it is to give back to a community. And a lot of people can learn a lot from watching you and how you set the bar. And we appreciate all your great work and your volunteerism. It's truly remarkable. So thank you.
Thank you.
So, Joan, the Board of Selectmen have a citation for you this evening that I'd like to read into the record. To all persons whom these present shall come, be it known that on this day, September 16, 2025, the town of Saugus recognizes Joan Fowler for her 22 years of exceptional service to the town of Saugus as dedicated member of the Conservation Commission, and it's signed by all 5 members of the Board of Selectmen. And if it's okay with you, would like to come up and take a picture with you and your daughter and anyone else who you'd like. Hey, Joe, before you sit down, Stephanie, did you want to come out and take a picture with Joe? They were both on the Conservation Commission together for many, many years.
Yeah.
So under correspondence, our first item is Mrs. Ellen Shenna, Saugus Town Clerk, a vote to be taken on Chapter 92 of the Acts of 2022 for the local election, November 4th, 2025. Good evening, Mrs. Shenna.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Selectmen, Town Manager Scott Crabtree, Board of Selectmen Clerk Casagrande, Meredith Casagrande. I'm here like I was 2 years ago on our local election due to the Mass General Law, Chapter 92 of the Acts of 2022. I request that we opt out of mail-in early voting and opt in for 1 day of early person voting in person, for October 25th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 5. So what this does is we opt out of sending those cards to every voter in Saugus. They can still vote early. They just have to come and request it. They can call us and request it. We'll send them an application. They can come to the office and request it. We're just opting out of sending those cards. Also with that, we're opting in for the 1 day of in-person early voting, since we have to have last day of registration to vote is October 25th, Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5. Since we are there, my staff and I choose to opt in for the 1 day early voting in person. We had a vote from the Board of Registers. As you see, there is another piece of paper that the Board of Registers got together. We held a meeting on Tuesday, September 9th. We voted on this unanimously for this, and now we just need your vote tonight to agree to this Votes Act. Does anybody have questions?
Do board members have any questions?
No. Makes sense.
Do you have any questions?
So,
Would somebody like to make a
so
motion?
moved, Madam Chairman.
So we have a vote in favor. It's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Okay, have a good
Thank
night.
you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is regarding traffic. It's on Lincoln Ave. There's an intersection request. Mr. Manugian?
Madam Chairman, members of the board, Peter Manugian, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 10. I too want to congratulate Stephanie and Joan. Forgot to mention that Joan was on the Charter Commission too, Madam Chairman. She had a lot to participate in at those days. But on this matter, I'm reminded of a song called Crosstown Traffic. If you ever heard that song by Jimi Hendrix, it says, "So hard to get through to you. All you do is slow me down." So we have crosstown traffic in Saugus, particularly in the late afternoon from workers trying to escape Route 1 that cut through Lincoln Ave, down through to Boston Street to get to Lynn and Salem and so forth. And it's become so congested in late afternoons that oftentimes the light changes and people are stuck in the intersection, thus preventing crosstown traffic from either going from Ballard to Chestnut or Chestnut to Ballard. I want to thank Officer Connors for being here tonight. He has a report, I guess, making some recommendations. It's a simple fix. Signs, perhaps maybe some striping, and certainly some enforcement, because it is a moving offense to impede traffic. I think that with signs, though, it's a good first start, and we can perhaps see that sooner than later, and that's basically it. I want to thank you for putting this on the agenda so quickly. I want to thank Meredith for putting this out there to you, and look forward to your decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Do board members have any questions?
Madam Chairman,
Selectman Sereno.
just a comment. I've seen that happen every time I head out onto Lincoln Ave. That intersection's bad. In fact, last week I headed out onto Lincoln Ave and traffic was backed up from Ballard Street all the way past Bisbee's funeral home to get for that traffic flow to get into Lynn. It was backed up that far. So this is pretty dangerous intersection, and I want to thank Lieutenant Connors for supporting this. Thank you.
And just to read into the record, I know that you're here, but Lieutenant Connors did get back to us and wrote that he suggested the board approve the do not block intersection signs on both sides of Lincoln Avenue. The sign is the standard R10-7 rectangular white sign with black lettering. So thank you. Was there anything else that you'd like to add to that, Lieutenant Connors? And again, thank you for coming this evening.
You're welcome. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Mr. Manager. The only thing I wanted to add is, under Mass General Law, Chapter 89.9, it's already a civil motor vehicle infraction punishable by a $150 fine for blocking the intersection. And having a green light is no excuse for blocking the intersection. It actually says so in the statute. You have to sit and wait for another cycle of the green light. Maybe 2 cycles, I don't know. But blocking that intersection is not the right thing. And we have to post the standard sign that's in the Manual for Uniform Traffic Control Devices, which is the exact numbers I gave you, which the DPW will have. They're not going to post a non-conforming sign. So just the only thing I wanted to say was it's already a civil motor vehicle infraction, even without the signs. I don't know what is going on in Lynn that all this traffic backs up. I don't know. I don't have the answer for you. But I don't have the answer for any other traffic. There's traffic everywhere.
There is traffic everywhere. There is.
That's all.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair.
Selectman Chicalini.
Yeah, I think obviously with Lieutenant Connors, thank you for your recommendation. I think it's pretty cut and dry. At least having it posted gives it a little bit more reminder to folks, but also gives us teeth when the police have to enforce it with the fine. They can also, even if the sign's not there, you're still responsible, but it makes it easier with the sign there. So I say we just go forward and move forward with installing the rectangular white signs on both sides, the do not block intersection. standard size R10-7 as recommended by Lieutenant Connors.
And that's in the form of a motion?
Yes.
And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is traffic, Marden Street traffic concerns. Is there anyone here from Marden Street? Hi, would you like to come up to the podium, please? The person who wrote the email, Julie Simpson, is that you?
Julie's here, and hello, Council,
Hi.
townspeople. I'm Ron Rice. I'm a longtime resident of Marden Street. Councilwoman Panetta, I have here an email from back in May where you were kind enough to respond to an email I sent to the council about our concerns. And to sum it up, last year we took a petition, went around Marden Street and Centennial Ave, where we got all signatures about the frustration of traffic that bombards the street every morning with parents cutting through the street, sometimes speeding down the street to get to the old Belmonte Middle School, the STEM school. And, you know, anybody in the area knows the traffic flow there is horrendous any given morning for at least an hour stretch from 7:30 to 8:30, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later. And basically the request of the council was, ideally we had wanted a sign posted at the end of Centennial on Central that, similar to the sign that's on Adams Street that says limited, you cannot drive down the street during basically school hours in the morning and in the afternoon. That was the petition that was sent, and then my email was just a follow-up to reiterate, and you were kind enough to say that Lieutenant was having a speed study done, and I hear from my neighbors all the time. I head off to work, so I don't always see it, although I have trouble getting out of the driveway and out of the street from the line of traffic that's there, but I hear that they clocked 134 cars going by this morning during that hour, so that might be the average or so, or I don't know if you have better statistics. Okay, so that's the request, is ideally we didn't want them coming down from Central to Centennial, and you were explicit in your response that your response was, well, it is a through traffic street.
I made a mistake, which I'm going to correct for you.
Okay, so that's the presentation and that's the request. I don't know what you can do from there.
Thank you. So we did ask for Lieutenant Connors to come tonight because we knew that you and your neighbors were coming, so that we would get information directly from the lieutenant.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Madam Chair. I made a mistake in my initial reply back to you. I was speaking on behalf of the police department, which is, we can't post signs on public ways. That's your responsibility. I was speaking for the chief and not for you guys, and I apologize for that. I made an error in how I phrased that. You certainly can restrict traffic going down Centennial and Marden Street during specific hours, similar to what you do on Pierce Memorial Drive. You also do it on Dow Street, Dow and Adams Court, and you do it on Pierce Memorial and Highland Ave for specific hours, if that's what the board and the residents want. The issue becomes, it's a balancing act for the people that live on that street, because they're going to be subject to the same restrictions as everybody else. Similar to parking, you know the no parking challenges we had off of the Fellsway.
Yeah.
All those people came with a petition, then we put up the signs and they didn't like it. Well, because it applies to everybody. So, but if it makes the residents feel better about their neighborhood, I'm all for it. I did have officers go down there to do selective enforcement. They reported that there was an increased amount of traffic on the street, but they didn't see any speeding violations. Now, they went down there with a LiDAR gun. So, and as soon as you see a marked cruiser, most of the time they're going to slow down. But if this is what is helpful for the neighborhood, I don't think it's wrong. But I would suggest you post them on Centennial Street at the intersection with Central Street. And the reason I say that is because if you have people going down Central or down Centennial, there's nowhere to turn around down there. It's a very tight little intersection. If you wait till they get to Martin Street, you're going to have people backing up, and I think it's easier just to have them continue on Central Street, because most of them are going to the Belmonte Steam Academy anyway. Does that make sense?
Madam Chair.
Selectman Jiglini.
Thank you, Lieutenant Connors. Yeah, it absolutely makes sense, and no need to apologize ever for the work that you do. The question I have is, though, you made a comment about for the people that live in the neighborhood. I'm not sure I understand fully that it will apply to them if they want to leave their house and drive.
Oh, they can go, but they can't go the opposite direction.
Yeah,
They won't be able to go back.
So if they went to go drop off their own children,
They'd have to follow the traffic pattern. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, so if the traffic pattern is, it's going to be a one-way?
Right, if you guys say it's one way between, or do not enter between specific hours, nobody can go that way.
So I want to clarify what it is that you're making it no cut-through traffic from Centennial. Are you asking for a one-way traffic, or are you asking for no cut-through traffic?
You can't have, yeah, you can't.
You can't really make it a no cut-through.
Then nobody can get in.
Right.
So,
Right, it would be one way, well, hold on.
That's why.
That is a great distinction. It really is a no cut-through, because the answer is
That-
everybody's coming from the blockage that runs down Central, almost to here, you know, during that time, and cutting through to go to the school.
Yeah.
So it is in one-way direction that they're going during those hours.
Right.
But it
So
is the same signage.
We can't make it a no cut-through is not really a permissible thing.
I
that
see.
But we could make it a do not enter, like a one-way traffic.
Well, that solves the same purpose. And just as, I can't speak on everybody that lives on Centennial or so, but as far as I was aware, many of those same individuals and neighbors signed the petition because they're subject, as you know, to the same tightness going down. And by the way, when school just started, and I can know 2 years in a row I was walking my dogs when school just started, that is when you post a police officer, usually over on Adams, and the response I've gotten twice from the officers are, yes, it's madness. So they know, it's well known when school starts that madness happens in that area, but it continues all year down Centennial and Martin.
So we're thinking it would be a do not enter at Centennial and Central Street.
Yes.
From the hours where school is,
Yes.
people are bringing their children to school.
Yes,
It
because
make-
a lot of the neighbors, they had.
So then anybody who lives on Centennial or Martin that has to exit, can't exit through,
That's right, he'd be right, they'd have to go the same route of traffic, they can't go the opposite way. So to your point, they're gonna get stuck in a little issue circling back around and cutting oh no, they can't go that way, they
but
have to
wait.
come up. through
Lieutenant
where there's-
Connors, correct me if I'm wrong, if we make it a do not enter at Centennial, but if they're leaving, they can go out Centennial to Central Street. You can't enter to cut through to go out to Denver Street,
I believe you're right.
right?
I believe
So
so.
if you're leaving, I have a relative that lives on the street. If you're leaving, you can exit and avoid the school traffic.
Yes.
They'll be able to exit.
Yeah,
But
that-
anybody coming up Central Street can't go into Centennial to go through Martin to cut through to go to Belmonte.
Correct. Let's
Right?
say somebody lives on Martin Street. They leave at 7 to drop their son or daughter off at the high school or the middle school complex.
They
When
have to
come
go out
back,
through Central.
They're gonna get stuck in all that traffic.
But they can't go out because it's a do not enter.
Right.
They won't be able to exit out onto Denver, will they?
I think so.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
I'm trying to.
if you make it a do not enter, that's different than a one-way.
Yes.
So if we make it a
If you
do
make
not
it-
enter during certain hours,
If you
the
make
only
it-
way to access, for you to access your house, if you're out overnight, you're coming home, and it's school hours, you won't be able to, you'd have to wait in the Belmonte traffic to go up Martin Street
Right.
to
Now,
access your
if you make
house.
it one way,
If we made it a one-way,
during certain hours.
during certain hours, then you gotta figure
then
out
you
which
could-
way is
Then you
the,
could establish, just what you did at Pierce Memorial Drive
Right.
yeah.
is exactly what you could do
So we
here.
could make it a one-way going out to Central Street during those hours, so
Yeah,
nobody
and one
cuts
way the
from
other.
Central Street coming out.
The
They
way you
wouldn't-
the way you do it on Dow Street and Adams Court, that street during those specific hours. You do the same thing at Pierce Memorial Drive and on Highland Ave at specific hours. In fact, you just change those hours on Highland Ave so they make sense for the residents on that street.
So, we'll work on the real times, but let's assume, we do like 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock
Sure.
in the morning, and then we do from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That would mean that nobody could, it would be a one-way.
One way.
Coming from Denver through Martin out to
And then
Centennial.
Centennial to Martin the other way.
Is
in the
a do not enter, is a no, it won't go, you can't go that way.
one way during certain hours. You can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
during school hours, you won't be able to come from Centennial out to Martin
Okay.
during school hours. The only way to access Martin and Centennial roads during school hours would be coming off of Denver, coming up Martin and down Centennial out to Central Street during school hours,
I think I understand what you're saying. You only make it one way.
during those
in the-
4-hour
in the-
block,
in
that
the
total
morning.
four.
And then one way the other way in the afternoon. Does that make sense?
I don't think it would be one way the other way, because people are going back to, it's the same problem. They're going
Oh,
to
they're
drop
going
kids
back to
off, and
pick
then they're
up-
going back to pick their kids up,
Now I understand you. Yes, so you just make it one way.
which is very similar to what we do on Highland,
Yeah,
and
Right.
it's
now I
the same,
understand.
it's the hours. So we would do morning hours and afternoon hours, where it would be one-way traffic.
Yes.
The flow would be reversed flow, not Central Street flow, opposite side. You come in that way. That would
Yes.
deter anybody coming from Central Street in through Centennial to Martin. out,
Correct. Okay,
Using
I
it as a
understand.
cut-through,
Yes, sir.
if you will. All right, so
Madam Chairman?
Mr. Town Manager?
So one other aspect of the, to consider is where the placement of the signage would be, because there's 3 businesses on Centennial. It's a hairdressing salon, and I think Fred's, the back of the thing in the church there, as well as the dentist thing, so you might want to consider
to
where,
put it-
consider
beyond
where it
those.
starts, because otherwise, people that are getting hair, hair salon or visiting those businesses for deliveries
Yeah.
would be problematic.
Yeah, he's right.
Okay, so
Chairman.
are you, oh, I'm sorry, Selectman Sereno.
Oh, yeah, just my suggestion is, I know we have to have a public hearing for this.
Yep.
I'd like to see you get together with the neighborhood and come back with one message of what you need instead of trying to figure it out at the next hearing. That'd be helpful for the
So
board.
what we would need, though, is you to get to us first, so we could advertise the public hearing for what you want. We don't want you to come to the meeting, then we're gonna have to delay it and advertise it. So if the neighbors could get together and collectively come up with what you think is the best solution, we can work with Lieutenant Connors. If it makes sense, we can then advertise it so that we cut the time, and you don't have to push it out to another meeting.
I don't think you're going to have enough time for the September 30th meeting to do that, because it would have to be advertised this week. So our next meeting would be October 14th. So we could publicize the public meeting, and whomever you would like to come up and speak, because it would be a formal vote.
Madam Chairman,
Selectman Sereno.
just one more thing. I'd just like to let you know about an experience I had. I was coming over the railroad tracks, heading down towards, I wanted to take a left on Winter Street. There was traffic backed up heading into Saugus Center, and I drive slow. I was going slow. Some woman shot across. I didn't even see her, trying to get onto Centennial Ave with little kids in the car, and I almost hit her. So I think probably the one-way would be more helpful than anything.
I'll be the first to admit this solution is going to cause chaos with the way traffic flows as is. And my thoughts are, if anybody can think of any other, it's a big ask to stagger the school hours, do so, some other kind, because we were told on the street after we did the petition that they told the parents at the school, hey, don't go down Martin. Now, of course, that fell on deaf ears because it didn't happen. My final comment is, I live very close to Denver, so this ask is going to, I'm only going to say it's going to inconvenience me by having to be stuck trying to cut across the traffic now that's on Central to get out, but I'm certainly willing to do that. But the only good news is there won't be a bombardment of traffic heading in my direction while I'm trying to get out. So that sounds like the solution, but you want us to come up with
I
something?
know that this has been an issue for some time, because I went back into my emails when this one was forwarded to me, and I saw over the past year I've gotten different emails from you and from Julie and from others. So you could see that we're all trying to come up with a solution. So if you could work with our Connors, we can help you write up what exactly it is you're looking for the advertisement. We just want to make sure it's what you and the neighbors really desire.
Okay, we'll confer and I'll be in touch, so we'll take your assistance. Thank you.
Just one last point. Just make sure you talk to all the neighbors, so when you come back, it's not half wants one thing and half wants another, because we'll get nowhere.
Yeah, we've had that
That's
happen
the issue we had on the
before.
Fellsway.
You do have a good point, because we do have some brand-new neighbors to the street, so they know nothing of this.
And as a courtesy, you might even want to talk to the people that have the businesses right at the end of Centennial, and just let them know that the plan would be to kind of move the signage so it would start beyond their business, so their patrons wouldn't be subject to not being able to pull down to turn around and things like that.
We're
You know.
happy to do whatever the neighbors want us to do, it just, you have to get them to agree. Okay? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
New neighbor.
Just your name and address,
Thank
please.
you so much. Yes, my name is Javier Siciliano, 5 Martin Street. I'm a new neighbor, so bear with me. I'm new to town. Thank you so much for letting me speak. Very quickly, I'm a dad. I have a 2-year-old. I have a 1-year-old. My wife is pregnant. We're expecting number 3.
Congratulations.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You know, and so 2 of the reasons why we moved to Saugus: 1, safety; 2, because this is a family-friendly neighborhood, right? And so that's what we're looking for. After hearing Ron and Julie and great neighbors, the traffic is bad. How do you explain to a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old not to run into the street? Well, you can't. They're very little, because also we don't have sidewalks, right? And so just wanted to say my piece. I have a family. I want to take care of them. I want them to be safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the neighborhood who wanted to address the board? Yes, sir.
Julie. Come on, Julie.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Julie Simpson. I live at 10 Modern Street. I just wanted to speak up. We don't have any sidewalks. Walking my granddaughter to
I'm
school.
having a difficult time hearing you. Can you speak a little bit?
Hi.
Hi.
Walking my granddaughter to school every day. I have cars flying behind us, almost hitting us. We've had confrontations with parents. So safety for my granddaughter and everybody else in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board, Town Manager. Yeah, I've been on Martin Street for 26 years, and it's bad.
We know who you are, but can we have your name and address?
I know,
for the
I was
record?
waiting for the citation earlier. I didn't get me hear my name called. But anyway, yeah, kudos to Jolie for bringing this topic up. It's a no-brainer, so we're going to get together and we'll come back with a better plan, but it certainly needs to be a one-way, no two ways about it during school hours, so that's all I have. We'll get together with the neighbors and we'll figure out the plan, a better plan, direct plan.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Chris Howe. I live at 15 Centennial Ave, so more towards the dentist office at the start of the street. I want to say I do totally agree with everything that's been said thus far. We do have a pretty significant traffic flow in the morning. I do want to caution, and I'm not saying this should not happen and shut it down. I want to kind of play devil's advocate here a little bit. I personally drive my son goes to the vets, my daughter goes to Belmonte, 2 totally different flows here. So that right there in itself to this proposed solution, I could see being a problem. The other thing that we you know, selfishly or personally, we've started a little bit of a walking club. So my daughter and all her friends, we all walk to the Belmonte to try to take some of these cars off the road. However, we use, you know, they come up our street, drop the kids off, and we walk. Now, but what this is being proposed is there is no coming up that street in the morning. The other problem I'm kind of seeing already is Central Street is going to be a nightmare. I mean, it already is, quite frankly, when you're going to take that right to the Belmonte. That doubles now because you're taking all the traffic that's coming up our street, and I mean, there's going to be some give and take. So I don't think, again, I don't want to speak against my neighbors. I love our neighborhood, I love our street, and I do agree that there is a problem. I just hope we can explore all the options, perhaps whether it's a speed bump, more signage, or something to slow that traffic down. I think, you know, it's not the amount of cars so much that's a problem. It's actually kind of fun in the morning. You're seeing all the friends, hey, beep and wave, you know, where it kind of like it's a community thing. The problem I have is that these cars do go fast around that corner, and it is dangerous. As they mentioned before, there are no sidewalks on Martin Street, which, I mean, in Saugus, it's actually, you know, something I've noticed. There are a lot of streets in those sidewalks. It's kind of a problem, and it's even more so of a problem when you're trying to walk up Martin Street and there are no sidewalks for the kids to walk on, and there's cars flying up the street. That is absolutely a problem. I just, you know, trying to play both sides and hear a little bit of what the cons might be to this as much as there are pros.
Madam Chair.
Selectman Ciccolini?
Through you, thank you. I think to Selectman Cogliano's point, I think that's why it's important that collaboratively meeting, and perhaps Lieutenant Connors, if you were involved in the discussion, you know, I know people have mentioned speed bumps in the past, and we know that that's from a, you know, in the wintertime, it's you know, they get lifted, and then that gets rid of half of the year, or 4 months of the year that you don't have that effect. But you know, this is going to be something delicate that we're going to have to really figure out. We want to solve the problem, but we don't want to cause more problems as well.
Understood. I think it's a noble thing.
Yeah,
totally
I'm not
understand.
100% sure that I agree that it would make Central Street more of a nightmare, because if you think about it, the traffic that's coming through Martin and merging in is slowing the flow of traffic that's going, because people are waiting and cutting in front of the other cars that are coming from Central Street, right? If you don't have that flow of cars, it should be a faster, hopefully a faster flow, alleviating Central Street, I would hope. I mean, I'm not an expert, but
I do agree. I just think it's going to be, you're kind of kicking the can down,
Yeah.
further down.
To a main road
you
as
know,
opposed to a
the
side
rotary
street, yeah.
instead of at the Adams intersection. I see what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, there's things we can definitely look into, additional signage, you know, for children. Unfortunately, the narrow streets, that's why they gave the frontage when they did these lots back 200 years ago. You know, they gave out too much frontage, and the streets are so narrow, you don't even have room for sidewalks, if, you know, where cars wouldn't be able to park on the street. And they don't have huge driveways over there, so a lot of cars do park on the street.
Agreed, yeah.
So I totally get it. Believe me, I understand the concern. That's why I think it's really important to do it collaboratively and we're committed to find a solution, but we want a solution that's going to work for at least the majority. I don't think we're going to satisfy everybody. That's probably impossible. But at least if we can satisfy the majority, I would think, and alleviate the safety concerns, that's probably the biggest concern that I'm hearing.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And if it doesn't work, we can always go back to the drawing board and try again. Hi.
My name is Barbara Kelly, and I live at 2 Martin Street. I live at the last house on the right, so it takes me like 1 minute to turn onto Denver. So when I go to the gym in the morning, I'm trying to get down the street, and I try to leave the gym at 7:15 so I can beat it. Sometimes I don't. But the big thing is I have people riding my bumper, so I purposely put my right signal on when I get to around Julie's house, who's 10 Martin, and they think I'm going to Denver, so I'm just about ready to go into my driveway, and I'm almost getting a rear-end collision. So that's what happens to me. I sit at my picture window and I watch the children go by, and I worry for them because the parents are even though there's bumper to bumper, I also see when they start stagnating, and the speed is excessive. It's frightening. When I first moved to Saugus, one of my neighbors came up from Malden and said, "Oh, you live on a beautiful country road." It's not a country road anymore.
No.
And honestly, it's very annoying, and it's frustrating, and I lost count, but I'm gonna tell you, I think it's more than 200 cars. I've lost count. I'm having my coffee in the morning, I'm like, and my husband acts like a traffic cop. He's out there saying, slow down. So this is what happens. It's so frustrating. I went to the dentist last week, and a girl from Saugus came over to me. She works there, and she said to me, how do you put up with that traffic? I can't believe you live there, and I was waving to you and beeping at you. She said the parents all leave at once, and she said it's ridiculous. She said something needs to be done. She said my daughter walks up Martin Street, and when somebody was leaving, and they almost hit her. So that's a real concern. We do have a very narrow street with a lot of parking, I get that. And a new neighbor too that has almost 3 kids now, so we are concerned. We're concerned for the safety of the children. So that's what I have to say. I appreciate you listening to us today too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to look for a solution.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming forward. As what was suggested, please talk among the neighbors to see what's best for them. Talk with Lieutenant Connors, and when you're ready, you can come before the board, and we'll need to advertise for a public hearing. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Lieutenant
Thank you,
Connors.
Lieutenant.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the first public hearing, the first citizens' comments of the evening. As a reminder, the Board of Selectmen cannot comment on personnel issues or matters of litigation. And because there's so many people here tonight, if you could keep your comments to 3 minutes, that would be appreciated. So, is there anyone who would like to speak before the board?
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's been a while since I've been to a Board of Selectmen meeting in Saugus. But I'm here tonight not as well, first of all, Steve Castanetti, 174 Pine Street in Danvers. I'm not here tonight, obviously, as a Saugus resident, but I am here as the commander of the Saugus Veterans Council, the position I've held for the last 15 years. And as you can see, I have a lot of support with us tonight, and we're here for a reason. We don't have a VSO, and we don't see a reason why we don't have a VSO. We had a great VSO up until the coalition broke up between Saugus, Melrose, and Wakefield. We don't understand why Paul Cancelleri wasn't reappointed the day that that thing broke up. Melrose and Wakefield jumped right on it and filled their positions in short order. In the last 15 years, I've been through a lot of VSOs in this town. We've had good ones. We've had bad ones. We've had in-between ones. And Paul has been one of the better VSOs we've had in this town since I can remember. We have former VSO with us tonight, too, Jay Panett, who was another outstanding veteran service officer. And we're disappointed in the lack of activity from the town in appointing someone to fill that position. And I'm here tonight to ask you, whatever you have to do, get Paul back in that position where he belongs. We know we have a proven person that's done that job, that's committed himself. It was only a part-time job. He's put in a lot more than just part-time hours. And he's willing to do the same thing, and he's still doing things for Saugus, even though he's not the veteran service officer. Time to put him back in his position, and let's move forward. This is getting old real fast. It's been almost 3 months since we've had a VSO. Unacceptable. And you guys need to step up and do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castanetti? I know this isn't a back and forth, but I do want to tell you that the veteran service officer was posted, and it will be filled shortly, and this position is a priority.
Well, why hasn't the former VSO even been interviewed yet after almost 3 months?
I can't talk about personnel issues to that
Of course you can. I know you
degree,
can't.
But
But that's a question you should ask yourselves.
But it will be filled shortly.
Well, if it's going to be shortly, I hope Paul gets an opportunity to get back in where he belongs. And if he doesn't, we're going to be looking for answers. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening?
Good evening.
Good
My name
evening.
is Pamela Hart. I am not a resident of Saugus, but I have a lot of experience working with VSOs. I am a member of the VFW Auxiliary, but more importantly, I am a Gold Star wife. I do know what my fellow sisters go through when they need to get benefits. And waiting 3 months to apply, we all know how administrations work. You don't get your DIC like tomorrow because you applied today. There are a lot of women who depend, they don't have anything else but Social Security, if that. I know Paul personally. I know him from a lot of town events in Wakefield and Saugus. He does a tremendous job. He's there for veterans, and he is there for Gold Star wives. And I just hope that the town of Saugus will reappoint him as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As was mentioned, my name is, excuse me, Jay Panett, 24 Juniper Avenue in Wakefield, and I had the distinct pleasure of being the VSO here in Saugus for 4 years. Before I took the job as the VSO, I was retired. I knew where Cane's Donuts and Prince Pizza was. Now I can find my way all over Saugus. To me, this is a little bit less about Paul than it is about the veterans, and more importantly, the Chapter 115 eligible veterans and their dependents, which is supposed to be the primary function of the VSO. We can get VA stuff done at the Legion, the VFW, elsewhere, etc. But the Chapter 115 benefits can only be administered here in town. A Chapter 115 person cannot go to Wakefield and get benefits. These benefits are people that need it, they've earned it, and then some. To me, there's absolutely no excuse, zero, that this position is left unfilled. It's been known since January that this was coming. And here we are in September, and we're just talking about interviewing. I have heard nothing but glowing praise for the job that Paul has done since he's been here, and it will be a credit to him and to the town and the veterans and their dependents here in Saugus if he's fortunate enough to be reappointed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rick Fell. I reside at 32 Bayview Road in Saugus, Mass. And I have lived in Saugus, Massachusetts since the day I was honorably discharged from the United States Navy. I'm here to speak in support of the reappointment of Paul Cancelleri as Veteran Service Officer. Paul is more than just a good candidate. Paul is a proven success in this role. For the past few years, he has done an exemplary job serving our veterans. In this short time, it speaks to his dedication, and the community needs his service. His military background as a retired Army major gives him an unparalleled understanding of the needs of our servicemen and women. He is not just a bureaucrat. He is someone who has had the military experience. Paul has the type of personality that thrives on the challenge that position requires. He's built strong relationships with groups like the Saugus Veterans Council, the VFW, the American Legion, the Eagles, the Elks Club. Based on his outstanding performance over these past 2 years, he is the best person for this job. He knows this town, he knows the veterans, he knows what the job entails, and he has the right personality and desire to do that. And to mention, okay, I want to give you an idea of character of this man. I'm sure you were all here Saturday for Founders Day. Do you know where Paul Cancelleri was? He was manning the veterans booth, okay? Had I been treated the way this town has treated Paul, there's no way I'd want to come and stand there. But this is the kind of character that we have in this man. This is the kind of military officer that we need in this position. Thank you.
Thank you. Take your time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bob O'Toole, Saugus resident for 55 years now, down on Willis Street. I'm the executive officer for the Veterans Council, and I'm just going to make a couple of points. One, we're talking about a position that deals with some of our most vulnerable people in this town, our veterans. On Veterans Day, Memorial Day, everybody waves flags, they're all there. You come to our events, and we thank you dearly for that. But it's during the year. We don't need the flag waving, we need action. And to have action, you need a VSO. All right, and we're not here to elect Paul. I'm just here to say I've seen 3 since I've been in town, 2 good, 1 not so good. And now we got a good guy who does the food banks, who works for our veterans. They need our help. Thank God I'm a former Marine, Air Force guy. I don't need the help right now, and I hope I don't. But the point is, there's people right now as we speak that need our help. And having been a Boston cop for 37 years, I understand politics my whole life as I went up the ranks. I understand politics, and there's things you can do and can't do. But there's some things that need to be picked up, put to the head of the list, okay? And this is one of those things. Appoint the VSO, appoint the person that does the job, can do the job, and has shown he's done the job. I don't want someone picked out of the thing that he's a good guy that doesn't know shit about doing the job. You got a known quality, stick with the known quality. And if there's any way of moving this to the top of the list, and I know you got a lot to do to run it down, but if it can be moved to the top of the list, we as veterans appreciate it. Those veterans that aren't here today that need our help, they will appreciate it even more. You look out at the audience, and if I could just ask everybody that's here as a veteran, please put your hand up or stand up, all right? There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here that are interested in this subject, okay? And we just want you to know how interested we are as residents of the town. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Board of Selectmen, Mr. Crabtree, and the veterans. Thank you very much for speaking on my behalf. As it was mentioned, this particular moment is not about me. It's about the veterans. It's about the veterans over the past 3 months that have not received the benefits that they have earned. I want to share a little bit of information. As the requisition opened up in July, my application was in the next day for the position. That's what my instructions were. And it was also, I also volunteered my time over the summer to reestablish the monthly Veterans Food Pantry with the town of Wakefield. That services, last month we serviced and provided produce to 130 veterans and their families. I'm going to give you some numbers and some public information about the matter of the value of our veterans. The references are Chapter 115 from the Mass General Laws, the CMR 108 from the Executive Office of Veteran Services, and also from the Office of Veterans Advocacy, 123 CMR, Chapter 2, which has to do with investigations inspections, audits, reviews. I'm also referring to the United States Code and the federal regulations for Title 38, which establishes the laws that benefits the United States veterans. How does this gap impact the veterans in Saugus? Military veterans are a significant value to every community in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They deliver unique skills and experience and a strong sense of purpose developed during their service. This includes proven leadership capabilities, a powerful, trusted work ethic, and an ability to solve complex problems under pressure. My application for the full-time position as the Veteran Service Officer here in Saugus remains active. However, let's just look at the value of a veteran for a moment. The town of Saugus currently has 1,059 veterans. 412, or 39%, are currently working. 43, or 3%, are currently unemployed. 604, or 57%, are retired. The Saugus veteran generates a collective annual economic contribution. You're not going to believe this when I tell you, but this is coming from the Office of Veterans Advocacy. An annual contribution to the community of $16,353,028 a year. This is split between the veterans who contribute approximately $9 million annually and the retired veterans who contribute approximately $8 million annually to the community. The annual cost of the veterans to the town of Saugus is estimated at $3,789,17. So you back off the cost, that gives you a gain of $12,604,604.11. Okay, close to $13 million a year. The other part of this is that gives you a return on your investment to the veterans and the services that you provide as a town to the veterans, a ratio of 1 to 5. For every dollar the town spends on a veteran, the veterans return 5 to the community. That's a pretty good ratio and a return on the investment. On a monthly basis, the town of Saugus currently has between 16 and 20 veterans on a Chapter 115 program from the Massachusetts Commonwealth. Currently, without a VSO in place, it's a little bit difficult, and the town of Saugus is running at a risk of compliance. While I was here for the 2 years as a part-time VSO, we never fell out of compliance. The money that the town pays to the veteran on a Chapter 115 is reimbursed 75% by the state over time. Without a veteran service officer, the town is running a risk of falling out of compliance. What does that mean? That means that the state and the Executive Office of Veteran Services can cut back on what the town is reimbursed. It can go to 50, it can go to 25, it can go to 0. On Saturday, I just want to share some of the comments that I received while manning the booth for the Saugus Veterans Council. One veteran stood up and said to me, he said, you know, since the town has not fulfilled the VSO role, I've stopped going to the VA. Had a long conversation with that veteran, and I basically said you need to call the VA and restart your appointments. Your health depends on it. I had a woman that came up to me and said, my husband passed away in July. Who do I go see to file for a state benefit and possibly a VA benefit for the burial? My reply to the veterans basically is, have you called the VA? Have you gone to the state website? But that's not enough. Close to 60% are retired. And of that group of 57%, not all of them have a computer. They may not be able to log on and go to the state website to use the tools. They may not be able to make the phone calls because they're struggling to make ends meet. Which is why I restarted the food pantry, which, by the way, is tomorrow morning at the Saugus Senior Center for September. That food pantry is a gift from the Greater Boston Food Bank. It costs about $8,000 to $10,000 a month to put that together. I'm volunteering my time so that veterans can eat. You don't have to pick me. We have a responsibility in this country to see to it that our veterans get the benefits that they've earned. Imagine for a moment, 250 years ago, when the Patriots went to march to General Washington, the new president of the United States, and ask for their pay. It happened in America. You're going down a dirty path. Provide the veterans the benefits that they've earned, because the current force depends on it. Thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to speak publicly, and I am absolutely available to be chosen as your veteran service officer. It's a job I loved, it's a passion of mine, and it's my way of giving back to the thousands of veterans that supported me throughout my military career. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else, and any of the other veterans would like to speak, or? Seeing none.
Madam Chairman,
Selectman Poliano.
I think we have an easy solution here. I think we have a position that expired, and I believe the manager has people that he's interviewing. This is a position that I wouldn't have let expire without having someone in to take over. So I think the board is the hiring authority for the Veteran Service Officer. I would like to put a motion before the board that we hire Paul Cancelleri on an interim basis until the manager completes his interviews, but we need to have someone in that position. I know that I asked town council for an opinion on this, and he said that we did have the authority to appoint someone to that position, but we don't have the authority to give them pay or benefits. That's solely up to the discretion of the town manager. But just having our veterans here tonight, obviously this position is important enough to them that they would all come out. This gives the manager an opportunity to complete his interviewing, but I think we we owe it to the veterans to have someone fill that role. And at least if Paul could do it on an interim basis and work out whatever details he can with the manager, I think we put our veterans in a better position than they are right now. So that's my motion before the board.
I'll second that, but this is not on the agenda for us to even vote on tonight. So, comments from board members?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Riley?
I just want to say that the VSO position is extremely important to our veterans. I have had conversations with the town manager, and I know that things have been in the works. He has said it. But maybe if we could just have somebody temporary in the position until the manager fills it for a paying employee, but someone to be able to sit in there in the office to be able to address the people that need it. That's all I have to say. It's been a long time, but I know that the town manager is trying to get someone to fill it, and so those are the only things I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman,
Selectman Serino?
I'm fine with that. If he wants to volunteer his time, that's fine.
Okay, but we can't hire him.
No.
We'll be
No, we-
appointing him for a non-paying position. Where is he? But where's Paul?
Paul's over there.
Okay. And would you like to come back up to the podium? Sure.
Once again, Rick Fell, 32 Bayview Road. I understand that you guys are not the hiring authority on this, but we're looking at the hiring authority across the table from this room right now. All right? Why can't he respond to the veterans and give us a reason that this position has been open for 3 months? Offering a job as an appointment with no pay, no benefits, how is that serving the veterans of this town? Thank you.
Thank you. Selectman Chicalini, you have any comments?
I think it's been said. I agree with Selectman Cogliano that, you know, this is a priority, but obviously we don't have the ability to, we can appoint but cannot hire. That's been confirmed. So, you know, I'd be interested to know where we are in the process.
Did you, Mr. Town Manager, do you have any comments at this point?
You know, this is sort of obviously unorthodox. You know, this isn't a campaign for a position. This is sort of unprofessional, unorthodox. I would just say that I'm happy to discuss offline. I think I've talked to you a couple of years offline. We're very close, probably within the next couple of weeks, to filling the position. I would say that if, you know, I'm not aware, town's not aware of anybody not getting benefits. I think there's things implied here that may not be accurate. But this is a priority, as I think Mike, Debbie, I think Jeff, you guys were on the board. When I took over, we didn't even have a veterans office. You know what I mean? So we prioritize it by putting it on the first floor, professionalizing it, regionalize it. This is extremely important to me and the board, and I think the town. And so to imply that it's not, I just, you know, that's not accurate. I would just say that this will be filled within the next couple of weeks. And I can talk to you offline, but I don't think it's appropriate to get involved in talking about personnel issues and who should be hired and who shouldn't. And, you know, you hear people getting up saying, well, all I hear is, you know, great things about Paul and this and that thing. I don't want to get involved in it, in that part of it, but there's people that call. You guys have gotten the calls. I've gotten calls saying you should hire this person, and I've gotten calls and emails saying not to hire this person. So that, there's no place for that. This is a process, a professional process, and the position will be filled within a week or two.
Madam Chairman?
I don't want to go back and forth. This is not the right thing. It's unprofessional.
Not going to go back and forth with you. I just...
No, I'm
I
saying
think
having
I think
people
it's
keep getting
important
up and speaking.
to have somebody in there, even if it's on an interim basis, until we put someone. I personally would have liked to have seen someone in that position until the new person came in. It just makes more sense, but I'm certainly not going to tell you how to do your job.
I just have one ask. Mr. Crabtree?
And I just want to be respectful to you. To come up and say that you brought the food bank here is not accurate. I came here with the selectmen that I mentioned. We brought the food bank here, and every department volunteered to put the stuff right up in here and deliver that to veterans, something they never had here before, 14 years ago. So you got up and said that you brought it here, and I get it. You're promoting yourself. You're trying to do a job interview here. I would just say, let's talk offline. I don't think this is professional. It's not good for anybody here or the public.
Thank you. Sir, if you'd like to come up to the podium and speak, not everybody can hear you from back there.
I just have one ask, the Board of Selectmen and Mr. Crabtree. I didn't want to see, by the way, the food bank, I didn't want to see it end. I agree.
The genie in my office reached out, and we made that happen with the building maintenance.
Thank you for your support.
I appreciate that. We always support the veterans here, different than what's been implied. Every one of the board members, myself, have prioritized the veterans, and if there's somebody that's without services, we've taken calls, the position will be filled. The veterans, to imply that the veterans aren't a priority to the town or to me is upsetting. So this is about you interviewing here for the job and less about the veterans. Let's make this about the veterans. The position will be filled within a week or two, and then we can move on from this.
So I have one ask about the position and the process.
This is a personnel issue. If you have questions,
No.
talk with HR.
I understand that. I ask that the Veterans Council or the veteran community be contacted and included in the selection process for the Veteran Service Officer, if that's possible.
That's not part of my process or the HR's process, so.
Thank you.
Obviously, that you have some of the representatives here. I think you had Mr. Castanetti represents the council. He gave you a recommendation, so I think that speaks for itself. If you have his recommendation, I think that speaks for itself. He has a lot of weight in what he recommends.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
I just want to add, like I said, I'm not a resident of Saugus, and due to this confrontational issue here, I'm glad. Saugus should be ashamed of itself.
Len Constantino, 29 Lincoln Ave, Lake Circle, Saugus. I don't understand why you don't just hire him. What is the problem? You got somebody who's very dedicated. I've made a friend in Paul. I knew nothing about the VA when I came here. I had friends of mine tell me to go see the VA agent, and I went there, and I've got all this. He told me all about what the VA is, what the VA gives you. I never knew this for 50 years. And I appreciate Paul. And I think everybody else here appreciates Paul. And he's dedicated. And if he doesn't, if he was talking about going online to do the paperwork. Paperwork is like 8 to 16 pages you have to fill out. I can't do it online. I need somebody here to do it. And I got a problem now that I need to speak to somebody. And there's nobody here. Nobody's been here for 3 months, maybe even more.
If you have an issue, I'd like you to please come to my office tomorrow with what it is that you need resolved. I'm happy to help you. We're happy to help you.
I would rather see Paul.
Okay,
I would rather go see Paul because he knows what he's doing in the VA section. And I would appreciate it if you guys would hire him. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the town manager said that we'll have the position filled within a week? So do you feel comfortable with that, Selectman Cogliano?
October 1st? I'm fine with that.
By October, so you'll withdraw your motion and we'll, if he's committing.
Well, I have no problem going forward with my motion. The only problem is we don't have the authority to pay Mr. Cancelleri.
No, we
so
do not.
I have no problem going forward with the motion. If the board wants to approve that, then Paul's the VSO, but we don't have the authority to pay him. That's the opinion I got from town council. Whether I agree with him all the time or not, I respect it. So,
Yeah, I spoke
Madam
with him
Chairman,
this
Board of
morning.
Selectmen, the reason I stopped up is because you have the authority to appoint a VSO. You don't have the authority to pay him. The town manager does. Stand on your own 2 feet and appoint somebody, and let's see what he does with it. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, I'll continue with my motion then. You seconded it. We'll take a vote on it, and that's on an interim basis until the manager hires a full-time position. So that's my motion.
We don't, this was not on the agenda, just
I
again.
understand.
This was.
Still offering
I'm
it
not-
anyways.
I just have a question. Enid Markovitz, I've been in Saugus for 40 years. I want to know, he just said, the town manager, it's a priority. If it's a priority, why has it taken 3 months to do this?
Any other comments from board members? Comments from board members? No? And you still want to move forward with the motion?
Yes.
Okay. So all those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion to appoint Paul? All those in favor of appointing Paul as the, now, appointed, not paid, not hired, interim, until, for the next week, or, again, again, this is a personnel issue, which we're really not even supposed to be commenting on this evening. Please indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Madam
So,
Chairman, move a 5-minute recess after the...
yes, you could take a 5-minute recess. That's seconded by the chair. All those in favor of a 5-minute recess, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We are back in session. It's time for our first public hearing of the evening. Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing for a special permit on the request of owner Tina Bartolomeo. Did I say that correct? 27 Water Street, apartment 403, Wakefield, Mass., to allow tattooing at 358 Central Street, Saugus, Mass. Name of business, Familia Inc. This public hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, Saugus, Mass. On September 16, 2025, at 7 o'clock p.m. A little late. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your business, please?
Yes. So I've been tattooing for 5 years. Went to business school and began tattooing after that in a male-dominated industry, and I'm looking to open up a female-owned, female-run business in the town of Saugus, and that's about it.
So your hours of operation are going to be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and closed on Sundays?
That's correct.
And we talked a little earlier, your square footage in the space is 564 square feet, and the occupancy is 4. So that would allow you to have 2 tattoo artists and 2 patrons. And we talked with the building inspector earlier, and you're fine with that?
Yes, that's correct.
Do board members have any questions? No. Do you have any questions?
Madam Chairman.
Selectman Ciccolini.
It's no surprise. I give you a lot of credit. It's not easy to step up and start your own business. I'm somewhat biased because I'm a big tattoo guy, but it's nice to see so many people willing to step up and invest in our community to start a business. And I do think it's great to see women, getting involved in this art, because it has been dominated for so long. That I can remember, and I think it's a great. You'd be a great addition to the town. I do know your family, and I think you would be a great community asset too, not just another tattoo parlor. So,
thank you. I
wish you
appreciate
the
that.
best, and I put my support behind you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from board members?
No.
Seeing no additional comments from board members, is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, what are the wishes of the board?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Ciccolini.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Seconded by the chair. All those in favor of Selectman Ciccolini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Selectman Ciccolini.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion that we grant the special permit request for Tina Bartolomeo, 27 Water Street, apartment 403 in Wakefield, Mass., to allow tattooing at 358 Central Street in Saugus, Familia Inc. This will be a maximum of 4 persons. That's 2 artists and 2 patrons at any given time. Hours of operation Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and they closed on Sundays. Applicant will need to go through the licensing process for both body art practitioner and body art facility with the Board of Health prior to any operations, and a live walkthrough on the fire department as well.
And that is seconded by the chair. This is a special permit. Is there any discussion before we take the vote? Seeing none, Meredith, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion carries 5-0.
Good luck.
Congratulations and
Welcome
good
to
luck.
town.
Thank you very
Good luck.
much.
Sorry it took a little long to get to you.
Have a good night. Nice to see you, Bobby.
We're now here for the second hearing. Is there anyone here from Black Lux Transportation? Okay, very good. Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of Black Lux Transportation, Inc., 10 Bryant Street, Saugus, Mass., for a taxi livery license, owner Carlos E. Nunez. This public hearing will be held at the Saugus Town Hall, 2nd floor auditorium, 298 Central Street, on September 16, 2025, at 7:05 p.m. Good evening.
Good evening, Council, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. So, like you say, my name is Carlos Nunez. I live at 10 Bryant Street, and I've been in the town of Saugus for 4 years. Wonderful, we love it. Requesting a permit for occupancy to run a business, but the business is more in my car It's just like a computer, cell phone. Is to drive customers like VIP service. It's not a limo because limo it's more cars and extended cars. This is just like a black SUV kind of service doing for like Uber Black and private customers.
Okay, so you
So
know
it's-
you get only one vehicle, correct?
Yes.
And what type of vehicle did you say that was going to be, please?
It's a Chevrolet Suburban. It's a black car. It's an SUV.
Thank you. Do board members have any questions? Any questions?
Madam Chair?
Selectman Chicalini?
I just want to make sure to verify for public knowledge, this will be parked in the driveway, won't be parked on the street.
No, I have a driveway, yes.
Yep,
on my
I saw the
personal-
pictures, I just want to make sure.
And so you're going to be out in the morning sometime between 6 and 10, and you're going to be coming back home at 4 to 8. So this isn't a back and forth. You're just going out and then coming back.
Yes, that is. I don't really do any business from Saugus. It's more Boston to airport, airport to Boston, and it's early morning. It's not. Thank God I'm not dealing with the.
Whoa.
Dealing with the traffic that was mentioned earlier, and I do have kids, so we have to go through those streets, and I do have to cut to the street that they were talking about when I drop off my kids. But I mean, in August, it's growing. You know, you're gonna get more cars, and it's lovely here. So, would you expect that?
So I believe I asked if there was anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application. Seeing none, what are the wishes of the board?
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion we grant the request.
To close the public hearing?
Public hearing.
And that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Sereno's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Selectman Sereno.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion that we grant the request for a taxi livery license. One vehicle has to be parked in the driveway, not on the street.
And that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Sereno's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Okay,
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you for the wait.
Thank you. We're now here for our third public meeting. Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of owner Than Nyan, 273 Lincoln Street, Revere, Mass., to act on the application of Flow Golf LLC, doing business as Flow Golf, located at 880 Broadway, Saugus, Mass., to amend their all-alcoholic liquor license to increase the hours of operation and update their entertainment license to increase the number of TVs by 4. This public hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, Saugus, Mass., on September 16, 2025, at 7:10 p.m. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board. My name is Tan Nguyen from 273 Lincoln Street, Revere, Mass. I am the owner of Flow Golf Lounge. Tonight, I'm here to request to add 4 additional TVs to our space, and also extend our business hours from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Sunday. The reason being, with the TVs, when we first originally designed it, is all against the wall, and we didn't think that people would need to turn around, so we want to add more TVs so it's more visible. And then with the hours extension, we're heading into year 2. It's been a great year. Everyone from the town of Saugus has been great. With the leagues, they take about 4 hours, and everyone's been requesting us to make it later because of traffic, and we can't start the leagues until everyone is there. So we figured, you know, if there has been enough demand to extend the hours, so we want to request to extend it.
So you want 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 1 a.m.?
Yes, I figured it's going to be a few days of leagues, depending on, it's kind of a moving target right now. There might be days that we won't open to 1, but depending on that, we don't know which day that's going to be. So,
And you have right now 10 golf simulators, and right now you have 6 TVs, and you want to go from 6 to 10 TVs.
that's correct.
Okay, so those are the 2 changes you want to make.
Yes.
Do board members have any questions?
Just any questions that you haven't changed the floor plan inside, have you?
No changes of floor plan.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions from board members?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini?
from my experience, they've been an amazing addition to the community.
Thank you.
You've been an absolute ambassador for the town, with giving back, with youth events and things like that. I hear great things about your establishment. You've had the awesome responsibility of having a liquor license now, and you've done a great job with that. So, I think this is within reason to ask for. I know that you'll use caution, having the responsibility of a 1 a.m. with the last call responsibility and things like that. But you have. I wish we could clone you as the type of
Thank you so much.
the type of business that come into town and really embrace the community. Because
Yeah.
you said you were going to do it when you came before us, and you've done it and then some. So we really appreciate
Thank you so much.
how you've given back to the community and been part of our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. With that said, any other discussion points? Seeing none, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, would somebody please make a motion to close the public hearing?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
And that is second by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Selectman Chicalini?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we grant the request of Mr. Nugent with 273 Lincoln Street, Revere, for Flow Golf, DBA Flow Golf, located at 880 Broadway, Saugus, amend their all-alcoholic liquor license to make the hours of operation Monday through Sunday from 7 a.m. till 1 a.m. with last call at 12:15, and to increase the number of televisions from currently 6 to 10 televisions.
And that's second by the chair. Is there further discussion?
And just 71 seats remains the same, right?
Yeah,
that's
71.
correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a
Good
good
luck.
night.
Thanks
for waiting.
It's now time for our town manager's report. Good evening, Mr. Town Manager.
Good evening. I don't have much, but I just want to reiterate that just so everybody's aware, I apologize to the board. I would have liked to have the position filled sooner. Just for unforeseen circumstances have taken a little longer in the summer, a lot of different issues that I won't get into, but we're close to filling that position, and it will be filled within a couple of weeks. But what I do want to reiterate, and I think, I apologize because I think everybody's put in a position where I think everybody's passionate and people have strong feelings. But I think, there was an implication here that I don't think was fair to the board, to myself, or anybody. There are no veterans that aren't receiving benefits, and if there are, please come and contact my office. I had a conversation with Paul offline, and he agreed that it wasn't fair to do that. There was an implication that, like, somehow we're not providing benefits to veterans. That's absolutely not true. The veterans are receiving benefits. It's a priority for us, and I just, it offended me, I think, and I'm sure you felt the same way, being implied that we're not, somebody's not getting benefits and we're not honoring our military. And I think everybody knows we love our military and our military families. Most of us are all connected to military within our own families. So I get it, everybody's passionate and emotional over certain things and certain issues, but I think that part of it wasn't fair, and I do want to reiterate that there's nobody that I'm aware of that is not receiving benefits. They get on benefits, and they receive those on a monthly basis. And if there's other people, we've had a couple people come in that needed assistance, we've assisted them. But the position will be filled, and it'll stay a priority like it always has been. And so again, I apologize to the board, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for the Town Manager this evening? I want to thank you for putting up the signs at the rail trail, the speed limit signs, as well as putting up various speed signs around town. So thank you very much for
Thank you.
coordinating all that.
You're welcome.
Next, we have the approval of the minutes. We have the June 24th, 2025 meeting minutes. Would somebody please make a motion to approve
Madam
those?
Chairman, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
And those are seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion?
Madam
Seeing-
Chairman?
Yes, Selectman.
Could we get a written update from the state delegation on the questions that they were asked to get information for?
Yeah, I was thinking the
A
same thing as
follow-up?
I was reading the minutes
Yeah.
through.
Okay.
Because I have not heard back, and there were some follow-up items from the representatives that came that day.
Okay.
Chairman Panetta? So I did receive, in the last couple of weeks, a call from Senator Crichton, and he said that he's struggling, and I told him I'd relay it to you, but he's struggling at getting interest from other communities that are north of us, as we could probably expect. So I told him I'd talk to you about it, and maybe that we just don't include them, if they're not going to show and they don't have an interest. The jug handle, or the light up there, whatever it's called,
Right.
is not, it doesn't seem to be affecting other communities, and they don't really have an interest, and the delegations don't seem to have an interest in it.
Right. Yeah,
so-
Senator Crichton had spoke with me at Founder's Day.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And said the same thing. But some of the things that they could have,
Yeah.
gotten information from. But, yeah, it's sad that they won't even, because it's not in our
Backyard.
right, so.
So I'll take a look at the list too and just find out what else is on there that, I didn't look at the minutes, but, and see if there's anything we can follow up with them. I know they're trying, I think some of these things are bigger regional issues and some aren't, but I'll help follow up because he did reach out. I think I saw him somewhere like a week or two ago, so, before Founder's Day, but I just wanted to give you that update.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's now time for our second citizens' comments. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to address the board? Seeing none. Members' motions. Selectman Riley, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to thank everybody involved, the town manager, everyone that participated in Founder's Day on Saturday. It was a great turnout, and the weather couldn't have been better for that day. And congratulations to the man and woman of the year, Jean Decaro and Nancy Prag. Next, the VFW Post 2346 will be hosting the Saugus Veterans Council POW MIA ceremony. It will be this Friday at 6 p.m. Always remember and never forget the prisoners of war and missing in action of all wars. The Saugus Business Education Collaborative will be having their trivia night Thursday, October 16th at the Kowloon Restaurant at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. Register your team of 5 players, $275 for 5 or $55 per player. If you'd like to just be a spectator, the cost is $25. The cost will also include a buffet, a fun evening for everyone. Information is on the Saugus Public School website, and all proceeds go to the students of our district. And finally, thank you to the Saugus Prevention Coalition, the town of Saugus, town manager, and everyone that was involved in the Saugus Hope and Remembrance Vigil last evening. We came together as a community to remember those we have lost to overdose and suicide, and to share hope for healing and recovery. That was posted by one of their members on their site. So great job by everyone, and thank you for doing that. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
If I could just add, a special thanks to everybody with the Founder's Day. The police, the fire, DPW, they always get a lot of credit, and they're sort of in the first line of speeches. The one that sort of gets overlooked a little bit is building maintenance. Building maintenance does a ton of work here. And I think people realize it, but they just think they're part of DPW. But I want to make sure that they get acknowledged. They do a lot on all these events, on everything. They're the go-to department that assists everybody, including the DPW, police, and fire. So, thank you. I want to thank
Thank you. Selectman Cogliano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Manager, if you could, I have never seen Route 1 look so bad. The weeds are so tall out there, they look like palm trees. I know it's not our responsibility, but if you could pass that on to our state delegation and the state to let them know that Those aren't trees, they're not permanent fixtures, they should be cut along Route 1. It's starting to look ridiculous.
I will say, I'll definitely follow up with that, and I'm not trying to defend the state or anybody, but I think what happens is that budget-wise, they all try to time it so that they get it after the 1st of July, where the fiscal budget is, and wait for more money rather than cutting it twice. I know we tried that, and it doesn't always work. There's certain areas that you have to do more, but now we're into September. It doesn't look like they did it at all this summer, so I don't know why, but I'll definitely have somebody reach out.
Thank you. And the last thing, Madam Chairman, just like to extend condolences to Charlie Kirk, to the family of Charlie Kirk on that senseless death. Charlie Kirk was certainly an inspiration to millions of youth throughout the world, not just the country, and his loss is significant. So thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Selectman Serino, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I just want to follow up on Founder's Day. I know everybody spoke about it, and I want to thank all the volunteers, the manager, DPW, Youth and Rec, Building Department. It was a great day, and I want to congratulate Nancy Prague and Jean Decaro for being Persons of the Year. And then last, it's election season here in town, and I know the deadline was today. So I want to congratulate and thank all the people who are willing to put their name forward in the November town election and get involved in our community. I want to thank them a lot, and I want to thank the town clerk's office for conducting the meeting, and they're going to have a lot of hard work ahead of them, so I want to thank them also. Thank you.
Thank you. Selectman Vice Chair Ciccolini.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I had to leave Founder's Day a little early, so unfortunately I was not there to congratulate Nancy and Jean. So congratulations on your well-deserved recognition as Woman and Man of the Year, respectively. Two great Saugonians who have done so much for our town, so that was excellent. But it was an awesome time. I was there bright and early, and we had a great time, and it was nice to see not as many. I was surprised there was not as many like student booths down the end this year as there have been in the past. There was a lot of, vendor booths, but down the street past the church, I noticed that was kind of a little smaller. So maybe next year they can focus a little more on trying to bring some of the kids back. It's probably the generations getting older that want to do less, but the overall vibe was awesome. It really was. It was so nice down there, and the team just does an amazing job. It's amazing how you flick a switch and it's like it never existed. Yeah. Everything's cleaned up and everything's gone, and it's like, wow, what, you had Founder's Day 6 hours ago? But great job and kudos. But also a thank you across to the DPW on a couple of those things that we're taking care of.
We have one other one that we're going to take care of.
Yeah, but that one on Jackson Street and the other one over there, the residents were very thankful, so pass that along as well. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I also echo Selectman Cogliano's comments on his condolences.
Thank you. I also want to have a big shout out, town manager and DPW, fire, police, youth and rec, and everybody involved in Founder's Day. It was a huge success. Congratulations again to Nancy Prague and Jean Decaro, Man and Woman of the Year. September 27th, it will be a busy day in town. Not only will they be putting out the pumpkins across the way, but the Knights of Columbus are having their flea market over in Appleton Street from 9 to 3. The Fall Family Festival at Breakheart is from 10 to 2, lawn games, live animal exhibits, music. It's always a wonderful occasion. Our next meeting is going to be held on September 30th. So I just wanted to make sure that people knew when our next meeting is going to be. It's 2 weeks from today. So with that said, would somebody please make a motion to adjourn? And that's seconded by the chair. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.